be more in control of your life. Is that fair?
Sure.
I'm gonna go back to, right after my accident up at the, rehab center with physical therapy and stuff, and we had a fellow named Lewis who was due to be discharged because he was high-level quad, and his family couldn't take care of him, so they chose to get him put into a nursing home. And within 1 week after him going to a nursing home, we got word back at the center that he had died. He had drowned in his own spit whenever they weren't cleaning his trach. And at that point in time, I made a decision I'd never go into a nursing home. And after my accident, I went through all the different phases, and I'm going to fast forward to, I went through all the stages and I adjusted. And I was living an independent life in a regular community and everything else, and I fit in the way that people wanted to fit in, you know. I had all the freedoms that I wanted to come and go and stuff, except for health care as far as my care with, you know, nursing and stuff. And I had to be homebound due to Medicare's rules. So I did not have 100% freedom, but I had my freedom. And then I had some medical complications. Long story short, I lost my apartment, and a family member said if I wanted to live with them, they would provide for me, and we'd make things work, until that became a job. And I had the uncomfortable conversation where I was asked to find somewhere else to go, but I had nowhere to go. And I had to go down to social services, and like a felon, I turned myself in, I surrendered my freedoms to the system. And from there, just make a fast story short, I was forced into a nursing home, and I spent 14 months. And I did not have no decisions that I was free to make the way that as far as living the life I wanted to. You know, I was told what to do, when to do, and how to do, to the point that I was even told that I wasn't allowed to have water until a certain time of the shift, only one time a shift or whatever have you. And I was kind of like a troublemaker as far as, you know, that ain't right, and I demanded what I wanted, and they weren't used to that. They're used to people just going with the flow and stuff. But one of the greatest benefits that I had was they had Cox cable, I had a computer. I approached the admissions director. I said if I paid for internet service, could I get internet? And he asked the admissions director, sure, no problem, whatever. I used the internet, and that gave me a social network. I had my artificial friends, so to speak. And then at the same time, I had resources to do all the studying that I needed. And I learned about all the different social programs that were out there. And then I focused on Money Follows the Person. And I drilled hard into it to learn all about it and how I could get out. And I counted down my days, how many days is it left until I get my 6 months. And then, you know, I could apply for Money Follows the Person, and I'd get the golden ticket, and out the door I'd go. However, then, the next stage was housing was the problem. There's no housing in the community. So now I thought about Little Rascals with the cart. And they had the donkey, and they had the carrot stick in front of the donkey, and that's how they got the cart to move. And it was like, this is crazy about the system and everything. You got this golden ticket hanging in front of my face, but I can't pull the cart unless I have a house. And then it's like, I started approaching Independent Center, who helped me get applications out, but then it was like, you have a 1 to 2 year waiting list and everything. So then I started emailing delegates and everything, and try to present my problem and try to tell them, y'all got a perfect answer to a problem, but the solution is housing. We need to fix the housing problem. This brought me in close contact with Jason Rachel with Money Follows the Person, and another lady with Community Living, and they asked me to join their advisory board, whatever. But you know, I was telling them that there's the problem. I know it's a problem, and I wanna be able to face the people, that make these decisions for us and point out where their flaws are. But at the same time, I'm kinda like a radical and thought, locally there was no housing available, and then I tried Richmond, still nothing. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, the federal government has a housing authority, so I might as well call them. So then I started calling them daily.
You called Hope directly?
Yeah.
Cool, all right.
Until I got a hold of this lady that it was her job to look over the vouchers that are provided for people, and the money follows the person and everything. And we started talking weekly, and she was trying to figure out how she could get me a voucher. Maybe she could get me one specially, just for me or whatever. And I thought that I had something going that I had created. But either way, it's like one morning, whenever I was trying to make things work on my own. I was looking through the paper for low-income housing. Hey, I can go to low-income housing as long as I can pay my rent, it's okay. Even though the review said you don't want to move here unless you want to be around drug addicts and fights and cockroaches and all this other stuff, but hey, it's freedom. But eventually, every time I get close to it, the Lord kept telling me patience. And I'm like, wait, what's patience? Patience. I've been patient for 6 months. And one morning I got through saying prayers, and like within 5 minutes after saying prayers, I got a phone call from the landlord at the place where I'm living presently. Said that they had an apartment available, did I want it? And I'm like, when do I come? And I met with her in June, and I transitioned out in August 3rd, 2009, where I've been living since. And it's been nothing but joy to me to have my freedom back. I lived on my own for 20 years, and now I'm back to making my own decisions. But now my only obstacle now is with the nursing, because that's another part of the puzzle of MFP that they have found is a problem. Is the care that's being provided is not to the level of the individual that needs the care. It's transitioning out of the community. Out of the nursing home. Whether it's intellectual or physical or whatever, you need a provider who has knowledge about that disability. And there are certain states that have molded programs around the disabilities to make things work. And right now, like with the people transitioning or to be transitioned out of Central, it's like there needs to be more providers that know how to deal with them specifically. But at the other side of it, they're wanting to fight. Oh, wait a minute, if we lose all these people, all of the community will go without jobs. There will be unemployment and everything. And it's like, well, why don't you just let them go to be in private duty? Open the damn door and let them free. And that's where, like with my project, I'm doing my project about MFP. And, it's like, I don't know, it's just, I'm in control, but it's like when Kathy Snow was here, what I took from it, she was challenging us to define what disability meant to us. And while she was speaking, and I went off into La La Land, and trying to think about this stuff, it's like, I learned that I lost my paralysis. I'm no longer paralyzed. Now I am reliable attendant disabled. Without a reliable attendant, I can't live a normal life.
Right.
And that is my disability now. It's like with the agency that I have, it's like every so many days I get a phone call that this person's not going to be there. They're trying to find somebody. You're going to have to call your backup and all this other stuff. And that's the only obstacle. Other than that, it's like I'm free to go in and out the door as will, and it's like I'm looking forward to the summer so I can go down to the beach and take in the life that I'm used to living and stuff. And it's like, even like when you're in a nursing home, you only get $40 a month. In the community, I got all of my check. It's like I'm free to buy what I want. I don't waste money. I'm not trying to take advantage of it.